What is going on, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I am bringing you part 16 of my Devil May Cry 2 LP. We've got a long mission ahead of us, so let's stock up for the battles. We're going to get some blue orbs right here. I'm going to buy 3 of them. And as you can tell, there's one more blue orb that needs to be purchased, but I will not be getting it this LP. I won't be needing it for the next several missions. My health bar is pretty big, so we're just going to go ahead and start the mission. Just go ahead and deal with all the blood goats. Now this is the trick I mentioned in an earlier video. I like to equip the rocket launcher. It stuns them in one hit, it deals a decent amount of damage, and it allows me to follow up with aerial combos on them. So as you can tell, blood goats are no problem at all once they take a rocket to the face. So for the most part, this battle is pretty easy and effortless. Just gotta keep shooting rockets at them. You can deal with the blood goats however you want. I like to use the rocket on them. I think it's rather funny just to shoot a rocket at point blank range and just blow everything but myself to hell. So for the most part, I'm just going to be using the rocket one for this mission primarily. You'll see me try and use it in some boss battles. In the first boss battle it doesn't fare so well. In the second boss battle it's actually very useful. So the missile launcher is the gun of choice for this mission. So now you are getting a good look at the environment we will be spending most of the mission in. These hallways have jars in them with red orbs, but if you notice, these long hallways look similar to each other, and the rooms also look similar. We're going to be doing a lot of backtracking in areas that look somewhat familiar to the previous areas. So we'll come through this door, and you'll notice that this area will look very similar in terms of its layout and structure to the previous area. And these areas are meant to be confusing like that, so I'm gonna be going straight from point A to point B. I know where to go, but when you play this mission for the first time, it's not so easy or fun. It's kind of frustrating to deal with. But anyway, the first area we come to is this room with a little bit of a puzzle to it. What's going to happen is these orbs are going to be shot at you, these purple orbs, and if they touch you, they will warp you to another dimension where you have to fight some savage golems, and then when you escape, you'll have to retry the room again. However, once you get the sacrilege, the orbs will stop. Now, in this room, there is a secret room. There's a secret room in here, but I did not know about it. The guides I was looking at did not tell me about this. Some of the guides I've seen have been incomplete, apparently, and I won't be trusting them anymore. But there are 2 secret rooms in this mission, and I failed to find both of them. I don't get to them, and they're the last 2 of this game, if I'm correct. So you'll see me walk by I just missed the first one, and the second one's at the very end of the game, and I will point that out as well. But once we use the sacrilege, we're gonna you notice how the environment changes a little bit. We're gonna bypass the pyromancers and the brontomancers, oromancers. We're gonna bypass all them and head in here. Now we're gonna get ready for a showdown with Bulwark. It's time to settle things once and for all with him. So go ahead and equip whatever weapons you want. Make sure you have your amulet set how you desire, and then go ahead into the room and trigger the cinematic, and we'll begin the boss battle. Now, in the last battle I had against Bulwark, I mentioned that I wanted to try and figure out if it would be better just to try and attack him and ignore the wolves. Because in the last battle I tried to focus on the wolves first, and then I tried to take on Bulwark out last, and it took a long time to do that. So in this mission I tried to figure out, okay, let's see what happens if I just try and focus on Bulwark. Well, that doesn't go as well as planned because the damn wolves keep getting in Dante's way and he keeps locking onto them. So when I'm trying to focus on Bulwark, Dante just keeps looking at the wolves and trying to attack them, and I find it very frustrating to deal with. So I pretty much have no choice but to try and deal with the wolves, dodge Bulwark's attacks until then, and it's just so frustrating. I do not like this battle. I don't like the fact that I have to fight all of them at once and have to put up with all this shit. If they've just made it so that the wolves came first, and then after I defeat them, I get to fight Bulwark, you know, in phases, like, you know, the first half of the fight's the wolves and the second half is Bulwark, I'd be fine with that. No problem. I would gladly accept that. But no, they make us fight all of them at once, and I don't care for it. I hate it. It's so stupid. Even with my ability to slow down time, it does make the fight more bearable, but it does not make it enjoyable. This fight is just tedious. That he's dead and dead for good, we're gonna go ahead, gather the sacrilege. Yes, there's more. We got a sacrilege earlier in the purple ballroom, now we get one here. There's gonna be quite a few of them in this mission. So we're gonna go ahead and use the sacrilege on the door we just came in, and it will alter the outside hallways yet again. Each time you use the sacrilege, it changes the layout of the outside hallways and corridors a little bit, but it also grants us access to a new room that we did not have access to previously. So we're going to go here, turn left, follow the orbs, and head into a new room. In here, there's a bunch of cocoons and pods and stuff like that, and I'm not sure what this room is, but we got to deal with a bunch of abyss goats and some demon cores, and once we beat them, we will finally get access to yet another sacrilege. And I must say, like I said, at this point, we're close to the end of the game. We only have a few missions to go after this, and we'll be done with the Dante playthrough. So my overall impression of this game, yeah, it's still bad. I don't like it. It's definitely the weakest entry of this series, in my opinion, still. And even though, I mean, I can lay them all out and look at them objectively. Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I look at them objectively, this is still, in my opinion, the weakest entry in the series. I mean, 3 may have been very hard, but at least it was fun, and the main character was cool. Dante in this game, he just feels lifeless. He feels stiff. He doesn't talk, he doesn't taunt, he doesn't talk all that much. He's just more of a stiff, dry character. And I know some people might say, well, this takes place in the future, and he's more mature now. But it's because of how he behaved and how he was in the first game that we all fell in love with him so much. If the first game he was a boring protagonist, there might not have been a sequel, or any other games for that matter. So the fact that he's completely dead and lifeless compared to his first game, you know, as a character, his character in this game is very dry compared to his character in the first game. It's just so different, and I don't like it. He has like no life in terms of his energy. He has no charisma or personality. He just seems so dead, and I don't like it. I don't like the fact that I'm playing a boring protagonist. Anyway, in this area, we're gonna get a new Devil Heart. We're gonna go ahead, attack the orb. Once the orb is fully activated, it will activate all the Abyss Goat statues you see around you, and then once the Abyss Goats are dead, we can finally get the new Devil Heart. we have the Frost Heart, we can finally continue towards the end of the mission and the final boss fight of the mission. We're going to head back to the pod and cocoon room where we fought all the Abyss Goats and Demon Course, and we're going to go in there, and there's a door at the back, a golden door that you may have noticed. That door is actually an elevator that will take us up to the top floor, and it will allow us to have a confrontation with the final boss of the mission. Also, in case any of you are wondering if I'm going to be using Merciless at all during my Dante playthrough, no. They gave me that weapon so late, I couldn't really focus on leveling it up, so I really just decided not to care about it. I wasn't going to use it because if you're going to give me a weapon, either give it to me earlier in the game, or make it so that it has a cheaper cost when I need to level it up. Alright, but don't give it to me late and have it take the same cost as all the other weapons. Alright, I'm not gonna sacrifice the red orbs that I need to use to get blue orbs or purple orbs or any other piece of equipment just to level up a sword they gave me late in the game. Anyway, exit the door, head in, and start this cutscene.
Don't speak. Just die.
So this is the Tris Majha. The Tris Majha has a clever gimmick attached to him. It has it's three heads combined in one, and each head has its own element. One is lightning, one is fire, and one is ice. Just like the three devil cores that Dante has in his amulet. So, what they're trying to imply here is that you need to use a specific element to damage each head. However, I tried to do that, but that's really tedious to try and constantly switch out your devil cores every time a head comes near you. Because the range attacks, you really can't do anything, but once a head gets close to you, you can try and equip the proper amulet to deal damage to him. However, that just becomes tedious, and as you can tell, Dante doesn't always lock onto him, the way you want them to. So, instead, after this failed attempt right here, when I try and use the Frost Heart, I'm just going to give up, and I'm just going to try and use melee attacks. Melee attacks work regardless of what heart you have equipped. Right now I've got the Frost Heart equipped, and I'm not going to unequip it. But right here, when all three heads come and join together, this is when you can do a good amount of damage to them. Just dodge their tri-attack when they launch it at you, keep damaging him as best you can, and then the heads will split into three once again, and the whole process will continue. So at this point, it's fairly obvious what you need to do. However, once heads get close enough, I'm just going to jump up and try and melee them. As you can tell, Bell triggering and doing aerial stuff like that is just not working. However, the Firehead, when it comes close enough, I can deal a fair amount of damage to it, even though I have the Frost Heart equipped. So, as I said, just trying to shoot at them is just a waste of time when it comes to them being separate. Shoot at them when they're all together as one. Otherwise, just dodge their long-range attacks, wait for them to get close, and try and do downward melee attacks. And for the most part, you should be able to outlast this battle. This battle is not too difficult, and the Firehead is the one you want to come close, because you can see I got one, and I got two hits on him. So the Firehead, when it comes close, that's your best chance to deal melee damage. And once again, they form as one, dodge their tri-attack when they launch it at you, keep up the pressure, and you should be able to win this boss battle. Now, just because I'm doing good doesn't mean I enjoy this fight. I really don't like this. This is boring to me. This is really stupid. It's just like, oh look, a ranged attack. Oh look, another ranged attack. Oh look, another ranged attack. Oh, another ranged attack. Oh my god, I just gotta dodge and be patient. It's really stupid that I have to pretty much wait my turn to attack and hope that I can get some hits in. I like to play aggressive. I like to attack and rush my opponents and just wail on them. I love that. It was in the second game so much, the first game so much, and it's not here. It's just, I understand people like, oh well, these boss fights, stress the need for patience. There's a borderline between patience and boring, tedious. This fight is just not fun. It is not enjoyable. I don't find any pleasure in this boss battle or other boss battles similar to it. Phantom was the only boss battle that I thoroughly enjoyed, and that's only because of the nostalgia. But luckily, once we defeat the Triss Majha, we'll never have to see his ass again. Right here is the second secret room of this mission. Interact with the office chair behind the desk and it will take you to the secret room. So as you could tell, my stats were kind of okay, but I didn't really care at this point. This was a long mission and I just wanted to get it over with. I did not want to play through this mission again. So for the most part, we're just going to go ahead, save the game right here, and then I will see you all in the next mission where we have a showdown with Arius. Take care.